Hey, it's me, Deric. Welcome to another episode, I should say, of Cooking Under Quarantine. This is our Easter special. So on this one, we're going to particularly do something that we're going to make with Easter. There's another video that we have coming after this, which is going to be the ham, pineapple sauce. I'll show you how I make that. This is a side dish I make with the ham when I make it for Easter, and it is a potato salad. It's potato, egg, and bacon salad, to be exact. It's a really tasty recipe. I got this from my mom years ago. I've tweaked it my own way since then, but let me give you guys the basic ingredients you need to buy to make this delicious potato salad. So you're gonna need red bliss potatoes, 5-pound bag. You're gonna use the entire bag. You're gonna wash these and cut these. And instead of boiling like most potato salads, we're actually gonna bake these in the oven. And you don't have to peel the skins out of the red bliss because you can actually eat red bliss skins, which is good. Pound of bacon, your favorite choice. You can actually do 1.5 pounds. I love bacon. I've even been known to put 2 pounds in there because it's such a big dish. Some green onions, scallions, 1 or 2, I'll put 2 in there, 2 small to medium onions, 1 dozen eggs, and a can of Emeril Lagasse, salt and pepper, for the spices in there. So that's what we need. Those eggs have already been boiled. I prepped them, so I'm going to cut the potatoes up, stick them in the oven at 350, cook them for about 45 minutes at 350, and once they cool down, we'll take the eggs, we'll break them up, we'll add the bacon, the scallions, the onions, all the other pot, stir it up, mix it up. That's it. And you actually serve this warm. So you don't have to serve it cold. You can eat it cold the next day, but a lot of times when I eat it the next day, I actually put it in the microwave for 30 seconds to warm it up. It just adds a different kind of flavor to it when it's served warm. It's the weirdest potato salad. But every time I make it and bring it somewhere during the summer, people always like, what's the recipe? And I've never given the recipe out. What the hell am I going to hold on to it forever? Anyways, that's coming up. So we're back at step 1. So basically I just I washed and cut up these potatoes into kind of cubes. Just think of them as bite-sized pieces. How big do they cut off to? I mean, I don't know, they're not, like you'd see a roasted potato on a plate. That's what they are. So now they get in the pan. I sprayed the pan with pan before I put them down. I'm going to spray a little of this canola oil on the potatoes themselves before I put them in the oven and just lightly season them with salt and pepper. That's it. And what I'll try to do is halfway through this, I'll try to flip them if I can. Seasoned to perfection. So, stick these in the oven. Let's call it 50 minutes. And at 30 minutes, we'll see if we can flip them over. Alexa, set timer 30 minutes.
30 minutes. Starting now.
Those will go in, and then what I'll do next is going to be, I'm going to cut up the bacon. I'm going to fry it. And basically what I do with the bacon is when I put the potato salad, you don't have big strips, you have little pieces. So basically I'm going to cut them into 1-inch slices. When I fry them, I just break these apart and fry them in these bite-sized chunks. So what we're going to do is we'll fry these up, and then I'm going to cut up the scallions or the green onions and the onions. After the bacon's done, we'll stick them in there. The eggs are already boiled, so pretty much just wait for the potatoes to go, and we're off to step number 2. Okay, so we're at the step now. We're going to put some bacon on the oven. Boom. So what I like to do with this is, because even though bacon is greasy, I like to spray the pan first. Just a little bit, because I don't want the bacon to stick to it right away. If I just put it on there cold, it's going to stick. Let that heat up for a second. It won't take long. And we'll fry up this bacon right now. And then while this is frying, I will cut up the onions and I'll dice them. If you guys saw any of the other episodes how we cut the onion, you know, we basically cut the 2 ends off, take the first layer off, then I cut it almost 3/4 of the way, all the way through one way, north to south, and then I go the other way, east to west, 5 or 6 times, and then I take it, turn it this way, and I slice it down, and that gives me the perfect little chunks of onions that we want, just tiny little bits, not big chunks at all. We want tiny little bits in here. And then we're going to try to, then what we're going to do is we're going to fry them to almost make them to the point where they get translucent. I don't want to say that they're going to be caramelized because they won't be caramelized, but maybe right before that stage of that's where we'll be at this. So it's gonna fry this up. We're actually gonna give this will probably take about 15-20 minutes to cook this all the way through, and then I'll add in onions. So what we're going for here in the bacon this time is, anytime you make bacon, depends on the recipes how you want the texture of it to be. So in this one, we don't want it crunchy like you go in terms of dust. We don't want it floppy meaty. We want it kind of somewhere in between where it's crunchy, but not crumbly crunchy. Because, basically you don't want to get like, when you bite potato salad, like a flabby piece of, meat. You want it definitely firm to the point where it's just about crunchy, but not quite there yet. It's kind of hard to explain. Well, that's the best I can do to explain it. But you'll see it once I cook it. You just have to have an eye for this. I cook a lot of bacon, so obviously you know what the stages you want it at. And not all of them cook the same way, so you got to sometimes remove pieces that are all cooked and then leave the fattier ones in there. This is releasing a lot of grease, so it's just going to shrink up a lot. But you just got to constantly keep it moving, constantly watch it, and then once you see you're at the right texture, pull it. And you want to have a plate, which I don't have on it for demonstration purposes, but you want to have a plate with paper towel on it to absorb that grease. Okay, earlier we talked about that cross cut. I want to show you guys what it looks like. So we're going to go 3/4 to 7/8 the way down, north to south, without going all the way through. Then we're going to go the same way, east to west. Now when I cut this way, you're going to see I'm going to get a nice, I don't want to say they're rice size, but they, could maybe a little bit bigger than a piece of rice, bits of onion. You can never get it all because that last part, the quarter part down there, with a hand cut. But you can see these tiny, if you can see this, let me see, these little kernels of corn basically. Maybe that's what it looks like, kernel of corn, that size, we're going to put in there. Okay, we're back. Now the bacon got done. If you can see what I'm talking about here, I'll show you what it looks like. So it looks really fried there, but it's still got a little bit of wiggle to it. But you can hear it cracked a little bit, and that's what we want, like almost that crunch, but not there. So the first thing we're going to put in here now, and I didn't drain any of the grease. The grease I keep in the pan. We're going to end up using that. And basically I got the 2 medium onions here, chopped up into pieces. That's going to go in. And what's going to go in next, about midway from these being done, is the green onion. The green onion cook quicker, so we don't put them in right away. We kind of let these ones sort of cook up a little bit, get translucent. And here's a little tip for all you guys that are maybe cooking and maybe you want to garden. Whenever you get done with the green scallions, you cut them down to these. If you replant these in the ground, they'll regrow. So I always save these, and every year I use a lot of these. So I have like a special bucket. I have a garden outside. I don't know if you can see it from the window here. You won't be able to see it from the window here. I'll have a video of me planting stuff at some point. But I have a garden outside of a raised bed about 12 by 6. And then I bought one of these half-round whiskey barrel buckets. And this is it looks like a whiskey barrel, but it's plastic. I filled it full of pot and soil, and I plant all my herbs in there. And these are what go in there every single year. Believe it or not, I got one that's been out there for 3 weeks and I'm going to plant, and it'll still be good. They keep. So these onions going in about 3 or 4 minutes of cooking these on medium heat, not high, medium heat, medium to low. I'm going to add in the scallions, and I'm just going to wilt these. This is just like, I'm just trying to wilt them a little bit. I'm not trying to fry them. That's why they're going in a little bit later than the actual white onion. So that is a medium onion. It's a yellow onion, call it a white onion. You can also get the Vidalia, which is sweet. Either one of them will work. I imagine the Vidalia would probably taste nicer because it's sweeter. I love using Vidalias over whites. When I'm cooking, it just has a more sweeter flavor to it. So give these a couple more minutes, then we'll throw in the scallions. Okay, so these have been on for about 4 minutes now. Now I'm going to add in the green onions, the scallions, call them what you want. Mini leeks, I don't know. All we're going to do with these guys is just wilt them a little bit. Just so when you bite into it, you don't get a big bite of onion. You know, it's soft, like crunchy. Although if you guys have watched my cooking show, typically when I cook any kind of vegetable, I like to leave it a little al dente, just to have that fresh taste to it. I make homemade pickles too, which will probably, the pickles won't be able to make them till, unless I buy them from some place who has actually pickles, maybe from Venezuela or something, some cute pickle cubes. Usually they don't come out till July, but I have a really good half sour pickle recipe that you guys would go nuts for if you like homemade pickles. I don't like bread and butter pickles, and dill pickles are okay, but dill pickles you have to boil. These are cold fusion ones where you just kind of stick them in a batch of water with salt, spices, and you put them in the refrigerator for about 2 weeks, and they absorb the salt and the spices, and they make the half sour kosher dills. The kind you get like at a deli pickle, with a nice crunch to it. Kind of looks like a cucumber, but it has that garlic, salty taste to it, which is the secret. Those are the two key ingredients, garlic and salt. So this is just about done. We've just wilted them. And all we do is stop, and I'm going to turn that off, let that cool, wait for the potatoes. Once I have the potatoes, I'm going to stick everything in a pot. I guess in the meantime I can take the eggs that I have and kind of squish them, cut them up into pieces. I figure I find the easiest way to take the eggs for egg salad is to take your hand and just squeeze the heck out of it and make it just kind of come out. It really blends it up, and then if you have any chunks you can rip them apart at that point, but typically if you just squeeze and crush the eggs with your hands, you'll get a better kind of consistency for potato salad. Okay, so it's been a half an hour, so I'm taking the potatoes and I'm just going to try to flip them. Just move them around. They're doing it pretty easily actually. I'm just going to turn them. And they certainly are still hard. They haven't started crisping up yet. You can see the heat. Oh, Jesus Christ. You can see the moisture coming off of them. They move them around. So it looks like this might go on for, instead of being 50 minutes, it might be 30 on both sides, based on what I'm seeing right now. Well, that's a set timer of 30 minutes. So we'll just cook for another 30 on that side, and then we should be able to put it all together. Okay, we're back for one of the final steps. We're going to put this whole thing together. So the first that goes into this, now this just came out of the oven. It sat for about 5 or 10 minutes, waiting for it to cool down so you can kind of handle it. Trying to get all this into here. And ideally, it would have been better if I had a bigger pot of some sort to mix it in. Once it's all made, it'll fill this at the top, but it might be a challenge trying to get it all together and mixing it. So I'm going to do a couple different layers. Here's the eggs that were broken up. We pour a little bit of them in now, kind of like a halfway mark. We'll put some of those in so it's just easier to mix. We'll get this thing going. And here's the bacon and onions. Pour kind of half of them in now. This layer. And then we'll put a couple of scoops of the Miracle in there now. And we'll try to put the rest of these potatoes in if I can handle this pan without burning myself. Alright. I got those in. Now I'm going to put the rest of the bacon in and the onions. That's there. The rest of the egg is in there. And because it's potatoes, you're going to want to kind of break this up a little bit. And really, when I do it, I really push down on the potatoes. And you just want to kind of turn it and fold it. After we get that just first turn done, all the way around, we're going to want to add the as salt and pepper. Now the pepper you won't need as much as, but because it's so much potatoes, you need more salt than you would pepper. And you can do this to taste, obviously. And it actually looks like it needs a little bit more mayonnaise, or Miracle Whip. So I'm going to use about half a jar on this entire thing, which was 30 ounces, so 15 of that, half of a 30-ounce jar should be good. And again, we're just mixing this, stirring this up, working it in potato salad. And at this point, it's really just going to be salt and pepper to taste. Everything's in here, all the ingredients are in here. There's nothing else we have to add. But you just want to make it get taste. For me, I'm really going to break these potatoes a little bit. Remember, these are hearty potatoes. We put some big chunks in here. And this is one of the things that when you make, the only way you can tell when you're done is you're going to taste it. That's it, I think we got it. So that's it, it's salted and peppered right to taste. So what I'll do is I'll cover this and I'll leave it out. It doesn't, this potato salad that you actually serve warm. You could refrigerate it right now if you wanted to. We can leave it out. If you refrigerate it now, when you have whatever main dish you're having, it would be cooled down. But to serve it warm, it's going to taste a bit better. So in the next video, we'll have, where this is Easter, we're making a ham as well. This is going to be served with my Easter ham. So I hope you guys like this for my family and yours. If you made this, if you kids love bacon, love potato salad, they're going to love this. I'll see you at the ham dinner.